And so we want continuing on with my anime reviews of the Dragon Ball friend. Guys, next we're moving on to the sequel series of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, I think I was mainly more excited to talk about Dragon Ball Super because personally, I'm not entirely sure, like, which between Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, which one I actually prefer more than the other. So both of those options are kind of like hot in the air for me. But yeah, I really wanted to talk a bit more about Dragon Ball Super because I first finished the series about around this time last year, and so how I went about it was that I started collecting the DVDs for the series back in 2018 when they were first coming out, but I never started watching them until like around last year because I wanted to wait until I had gotten all the DVDs together before I actually started watching them so I could watch the whole thing from start to finish. And so yeah, I actually managed to finish the whole series like this time last year, and so yeah, it was really nice to be able to binge the whole series from start to finish like that. I mean, I had already seen the series in pieces on YouTube, and I already knew how the series went and how it ended. But this was how I was able to watch the whole series from like the whole way. And so as a person who prefers to watch anime on DVD and binge a series like that, I think that helped with the experience a little bit. And so as a person who's not the biggest fan of the Dragon Ball series, but still loves a lot about it and is still a big fan of it, I was sort of thinking a lot as I was watching it. In fact, a lot of my thoughts of the series are pretty similar to what a lot of other people thought as well. And given the reputation it's gotten since it began, it's kind of interesting to think how this show evolved. And this means I already knew how it was going to open up. Because the first 27 episodes are just retellings of the Battle of God and Resurrection F movies, which I do understand why they would do that and why they would want to do that with them being integral to the plot of the series, especially introducing Beerus and Whis and bringing Frieza back into the series for the last part of the show. But it felt really unnecessary to do that, especially since the arcs themselves go on for way too long. Like the fight between Goku and Beerus, I feel goes on for too long, and the two arcs and yeah, both of them just go on for too long. Plus, do I even need to mention the main problem with the episode? It's something so many people have been talking about for a long time, and people still haven't stopped talking about it. The animation. For some reason, the production schedule for the series was rushed at the beginning, with resulting the infamous bad animation for the first few episodes, especially Goku's fight against Beerus on King Kai's world. And even with the improvements for the DVDs and the Blu-rays, it still looked really bad. And the whole thing just kind of annoyed me and bored me because I had seen the movies already, and so it just felt like a waste of time to watch a version that was longer and just not even better at all. Another problem is with something that's a bit more. Another problem I have is something that's a bit more subjective, but I'm not exactly a fan of Akira Toriyama's kind of humor. Like I said in my last video, his humor is kind of back off and on for me. I like this of his humor, but I'm not the biggest fan of his kind of comedy. So when they try to have a lot of jokes in those first few episodes with Mr. Satan, again, I told Harris, there character I really hate, who just really annoys me. And so when they focus a lot on that, it's just not funny to me, and it just annoys me. Again, that's not to say I don't like any of it, any of Toriyama's comedy. I do like parts of it, just not all. And so yeah, I hadn't lost interest in the series yet at that point because I knew the series was going to get better as it went along. And even if those first few episodes bored me and didn't interest me in the slightest, it still had a lot of great characters I still love. And waiting for those arcs to finish pays off when we get into Champions Tournament. And by which case, yeah, like I just said, the part when they start Champions Tournament is where the series really improved, both in story and animation, because we never have any of those problems again afterwards. Introduced in the whole God concept in the Battle of God movie, already opened the door for a lot of great ideas for this show, and this show definitely takes full advantage of them, considering we get a great storyline with Champions Tournament, and I like his dynamic with Beerus. I already really like the characters of Beerus and Whis, and so having them be main characters in the series made it all the better. And the tournament between Universe 6 and Universe 7 is also a great idea for many reasons. For one, it's a great concept with making the universe of Dragon Ball bigger, and they introduce more some characters like Champa himself, along with Hit, Haba, and Frost, and so having all those characters meet with the action scenes that they were imagining made it even better. Especially since a lot of them were really creative, like Goku's fighter and Hit with Hit time capability. And I really like the end of it when they introduced Zeno. I really love the character of Zeno. The idea of him is really cool, but the fact that he's the leader of everything and having Beerus and Champa terrified of him is hilarious. And Zeno himself is hilarious with being this almighty character but still having the mind and attitude of a little child. And I love Goku's interactions with him. It made sense that Goku would be the one to actually befriend him with his own fun attitude. And I also enjoyed Vegeta's relationship with Haba. She and I were both Saiyans, and obviously if you know Vegeta himself, it would make sense that Vegeta would be involved with him in some way. But I think the series really improved with the Yamato and Goku Black story. I really enjoyed the arc. For one, it's cool that they brought back Future Crunch, and I really love the way that art was put together. Myself personally, like I said in my last video, I don't like Thunder Crunch because, again, I found him annoying. So having them bring back the more likable version of him from the future was great. And I like how the story was set up and the idea it brings and it keeps going. For one, the idea of an evil Goku like character is cool with how Yamato took over Goku's body, and I love Goku and Vegeta's fight against Goku Black and Yamato. I say my favorite fight with them is either when Goku Black told Goku about how he put his body into she and Goten, which makes Goku go crazy on both of them, or at the end when Goku and Vegeta become Vegeta again and fight Fuse Yamato. And speaking of which, the ending of it was really awesome, but that was really awesome with when Krunk actually did defeat the two of them just by using his sword to just kill them. It was really awesome. Although I will say that the ending of the arc is a bit disappointing in my opinion. On the one hand, like I said, I like how Front was able to fight Yamato, and he was able to end it just by killing him with his energy sword. That was really cool. But then, and this is something I really dislike, it shows how they were used, how afterwards, Yamato just ended up as like cloud or just his face and the eye or something, but then he used the Super Dragon Ball to make it so that he could just appear like that for somehow, and I really didn't like that because when you really think about it, Frank really wasn't all that important in Dragon Ball Z. He was first introduced and he was kind of sidelined afterwards. So if they ended it like that, like with him actually being the one that killed Yamato, that would have been really awesome. But then Zeno had to come in and just kind of erase him. So yeah, I really didn't like how this arc ended. But everything before that was really awesome. I really did like this arc, and I do think it is a really good one. Plus also, besides that, like a lot of anime out there, there's obviously going to be filler in this. I forgot to mention that in Dragon Ball Z, but yeah, the whole filler part of this series is just another part I absolutely hate. Like I said before, I absolutely despise filler in anime, and yeah, Dragon Ball Super definitely had a lot of really terrible filler. I actually did skip all the filler because I didn't want to waste my time with this. I knew what episodes were filler though, like when Gohan and Trunks go away on Jocko's ship and end up on a planet where Vegeta was going to disappear while some purple version of him had to fight Goku, and then the baseball episode with Beerus and Champa competing against each other. But the most infamous one of them all was the Dr. Slump episode, like when some of the characters from Dr. Slump appear again. But a more personal one I don't like are any episodes revolving around Gohan being the Great Saiyaman. Like I said before, I've never liked Gohan at all ever since the Cell Game saga in Dragon Ball Z. Everything to do with him afterwards has just made him look even more and more pathetic. And it's just annoying every time they focus on just trying to get a comedy moment with him, and so every time we focus on that, it always just felt like a waste of time. And yeah, every appearance of him from that was just really hard for me to watch, really. And there's a lot of other bad episodes in there as well, like with Bulma trying to get a wish from Shenron and trying to trick everyone out of the wish, or Goku annoying Bulma trying to get Whis to train him. I'm not sure what everyone else's thoughts on these episodes are, but personally, they mostly just kind of annoyed me. And I mean the ones I saw clips on YouTube. Like I said, I didn't bother actually watching them on DVD when I was binging the whole show. But then the show really hit its peak with the Tournament of Power, which is easily the most amazing part of the series and one of the best things that come from the Dragon Ball franchise. Firstly, I love how they brought back so many characters to compete for Universe 7, and they were all really awesome choices. I love how they brought back Tien and Roshi. I really love those characters, and having Krillin in it as well and Android 17 and 18 was even cooler, and I like them a lot here, a lot more in Ben and G, especially 17, who had a lot of great moments. But even when Rose, she was awesome, and he also had a lot of cool moments, and it was just really satisfying when he was fighting in the tournament and made him more relevant in the story after a long time. But then it was made even better with them including Frieza into the team. Like I said, I absolutely love Frieza a lot more, and I love him as a character, and I loved him a lot more as a villain recently, and having him in the series again fighting alongside Goku and the others was incredible. Seeing him as a fighter was really cool, and something of a good guy. Obviously he was, but I'm sure you all know that what I mean. It was just cool to see him with all of them like that. They were originally going to have Boo in the team, but I'm glad they didn't, because I much prefer the idea of Frieza instead of him. And the actual action scenes in the tournament were all amazing, and having both of the generated observers made it really funny as well. And I like a lot of the new characters as well, like Hop and Hop was really cool, and having the power of the Destroyer God I really loved. And especially the whole fight between him and the G, and the fight between the two of them. And this was the first time I liked Johan again ever since the Cell Game saga. I was saying I don't like him up until this point, and it was really cool when him and Piccolo teamed up, and then him and Frieza, because again, just all these different fights that were happening, that was really cool to see. I love just seeing all these characters fighting alongside each other. I'm not entirely sure what everyone else thoughts on these are, but it's still really cool in my opinion. And I like a lot of the other new characters they introduced, like Hale and Holly. Not really sure what other people thought of them too, but I do really like them, and it was cool to see them. Sure, Holly was a bit kind of annoying with how arrogant she was acting, but her dynamic with Hale was kind of sweet and nice. And then Jiren himself. I feel like I like Jiren as a character more than some people, and because some people didn't like him and thought he was a terrible character and kind of boring, but I quite liked him. He was really awesome, and I loved Patrick's performance as him. And all the stuff with him I really liked. And then as it gets closer to the end, it just kept getting better and better with Goku unlocking Ultra Instinct. And all the stuff with Ultra Instinct was really awesome. I really don't know what word can do it just yet. Given how popular it is, you all must know how amazing it is. Everything with it, from how it's designed and just how they made it really awesome, with how it activated, and even with the music. And the fact that it is just Goku just in a new power-up is really awesome. And the other character, and like I said, all the other characters all the other characters fight for awesome, but in my opinion, the best one was with Ultra Instinct Goku versus Jiren. And again, that whole fight between the two of them just went on, and it was one of the few times when a fight was going on for a long time, but it never got boring. I was always really invested in this fight. But then by the end, when he couldn't maintain it by the end, it made more sense when that happened. But it made it even better by the end, when Goku, Frieza, and 17 had to team up against Jiren. It's probably my favorite fight in the Dragon Ball series, alongside G versus Broly in Dragon Ball Super Broly. movie, and the actual ending with all of them going home after all the universes are restored makes everything feel really satisfying. Also, back on the voices, the Dragon Ball franchise continued to have some really awesome voices over it. I'm never not going to love Sean Simula's Goku and Christopher Sabath's Vegeta and Piccolo and David Air's Frieza. Just the three of them together are really great for the characters, and everyone else is just really great as well. And so, all in all, the series definitely didn't have a great start, and the beginning was sort of meandering and went on for way too long. But once we get through that, and the rest definitely improved. Well, mostly anyway. The later episodes have their problems, but they're at least an improvement over the first 27. And in terms of the episodes that are canon, I think this is a great anime to binge watch. Especially now that especially with the whole quarantine thing with the coronavirus. And so if you're a fan of anime and the Dragon Ball franchise, then I do think that this is a great series to binge watch if you're in quarantine or anything like that. But I think just by binging the whole series, it can help make the experience of watching the whole thing a lot more enjoyable. And yeah, even if you do kind of skip the filler episode and all that, it's kind of hard for me to judge on which series like I said, I'm not really sure which series I like more, with this or Dragon Ball Z, because like I said, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, but I'm not the biggest fan of the series, and so I'm kind of debating which one I like better. But overall, as far as Dragon Ball Super is concerned, I had a really great time with it. I love so much about it, and as a person who watched the series for so long, it was just a really great experience for me to watch, especially just as the series keeps going, and once we enter the Tournament of Power. Yes, there were some things in the series I didn't like, because there were some things that I found a bit boring, or maybe dragged on for too long, or just didn't find funny. But when the show really got hit it high, the highs were really, really high in my opinion. And overall, I absolutely had a great time with Dragon Ball Super. So yeah, I would definitely recommend watching this series if you're a Dragon Ball fan, or even just an anime fan as well. And so yeah, so that's my review for Dragon Ball Super. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all like this video. If you like this video, then please like this video. Please comment down below to tell me what you think. Please follow me on Twitter at Daniel Maloney, Hey and Disney fan, writer, Kingdom Hearts and Disney, please every day. And please subscribe for more content like this coming soon. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.